In 1975, Led Zeppelin released their sixth studio album, the double platter Physical Graffiti, and from it, the longest track of their entire career, In My Time of Dying. Suddenly a bit of an anticlimax there after having played out this one like repetitive structure for over 10 like 11 minutes. In My Time of Dying by Led Zeppelin, a number that all the members take credit for, even though it's a variation of a tune dating back many decades, originally done by Blind Willie Johnson around 1939 thereabouts. Yeah, Led Zeppelin, kind of notorious for that sort of thing. Anyway, but their take on the music is quite removed from the original, as it would be, being much more a product of like rock maximalism and all that. And it started with this open A slide lick up and down the octave of the A chord. And there was an initial backup on some closed notes at around the 30-second mark, and this mid-tempo slide groove commenced at around the 50-second mark. And then after just 20 seconds or so, it all subsided for this treated vocal by Plant. What kind of I was wondering what kind of effects were employed on his voice in the studio. On the guitar, there seemed to be this mix of distortion and flange that Page was playing through, along with his bottleneck slide. Um, and it was basically just all in the key of A, just sliding around, except on this 1-4-5 progression on the pre-chorus. That marked really the only deviation during this whole section of the track. And then at around 3:50 inward, there was this intense shuffle that took hold. And there was some rising, like up to D, the relative fourth of A, and some with some like rising thirds within the D, like na 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 no, 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 no. And then, of course, when they drop to C, the same thing. No, 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 no. Yeah. A sped up variation of the A slide riff. Fiddly solo by Page and A, rising upscale as this solo section advanced. And some tight cymbal rattle by Bonham that put the clamp over Page's riff. Meanwhile, I tried to listen every now and then for John Paul Jones, but he was basically just playing bass approximations of the slide riff, like boom, 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 boom. Very unassuming, just kind of filling out the whole sonic thickness and all. More vocals, faint, submerged at times during this lengthy solo. Ad-libs, I guess, on prior lines in the track. Page reasserted his soloing at times over Plant up through like 7-10 mark. And there was that earlier run-on chorus resumed. And then at around 8:20, everything subsided to put the spotlight on Plant, where he was repeating this one line. At first I thought I was hearing him say, "Oh my Jesus," over and over again, but then I think it was "Oh Georgina" that he was saying over and over again. Yeah, emphasizing that line. And repetition play out to the end amid intensifying riffage. I know that he says both in this song. I probably heard both because he was in that latter part of the lyrics. I'm just going to read like the first verse and chorus because it gives the idea. In my time of dying, I want nobody to mourn. All I want for you to do is take my body home. Well, 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 so I can die easy. Well, 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 so I can die easy, yeah. Jesus got to make up, Jesus going to make up. Jesus going to make up my dying bed. So he doesn't want really his death to be a ceremony. He just wants, it to kind of come and go and wants to die in his home. Oh, Georgina, probably the person that he's singing this to. Yeah, he's basically answering to two people, Jesus and his companion. And let's see, the notes on this on Genius.com. Well, we all know that it's their longest song ever. Yeah, recorded by Blind Willie Johnson. Also interpretations of it by Bob Dylan, John Sebastian, Loving Spoonfuls over the year. And, contains some of Page's most famous slide playing, along with When the Levee Breaks. And I'd have to check for all instances of that and take an inventory. Meanwhile, I guess it's just the members of the band playing on this one too. It's amazing how on Physical Graffiti they were able to make so much out of so little. It's like on their prior album, Houses of the Holy, they were experimenting with all these different styles. Folk rock, symphonic rock, hard rock, reggae. And on this album, they scaled it back just to like blues rock, but yet they managed to like on this track they took a very simple structure and stretched it out to 11 minutes, and it was very captivating hearing Page just really get into that groove. Now, I don't think they could have done that as effectively earlier in their career. By 1975, Led Zeppelin had been playing together for more than 6 years, and they got to that point where each member had a sixth sense of what the other was doing at any given time, and each member knew precisely how to fill in the space just right to where they were adding accents yet not overpowering anything. They each one knew exactly where they were needed. It's I've commented before, like in some funk videos, about how that it tended to be back in the 70s that funk bands were the best, having that sixth sense of where to place a note or a beat. Because it's something that it's a sixth sense that comes along with having played within a group of the same musicians for many years. And most funk bands tended to be playing together for many years before they got signed. You don't hear that as much in younger English bands who form and then get their deal, say, within a year of forming, because England's so small and it's so centralized, and it's back then anyway, it was pretty easy for a promising act to get signed pretty quickly. And it's Led Zeppelin. They're showing their maturity here. You could say they're at the peak of their maturity here. Anyway, yeah, Led Zeppelin, their sixth studio album, and in a way their most ambitious. It's a double set with some very lengthy musical workouts. This one, In the Light, Kashmir, yeah. And it's also pretty fresh, even if you know the band quite well from FM radio, or were inundated with a lot of classic rock radio back, say, in the late 80s, early 90s. You would this album would still be fresh to you, because only like two tracks from the whole playlist of like 15 tracks have gone on to become like evergreens. Anyway, for more rubies and sapphires from the catalog of Led Zeppelin, see the directory of albums by English L artists linked in the description below. For red hot tracks and purples from albums by Led Zeppelin, as well as other L artists like Level 42, Lindsay DuPaul, the legendary Pink Dots, Light of the World, Leo Sayer. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the big long track we just heard, the riffage, the interplay, the intensity, the sound effects, the smoldering sonic character of it all, and the lyrics if you have any observations that you would like to add about what he was getting at, and what these lyrics may have meant personally to Plant when he was singing them. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.